Welcome to the Chingona Living Podcast, the place where healing meets poder. I am Anabel Quintanilla, your spiritual life and wellness guia, and we're going to talk about your Sistema Nervioso today. I'm going to share a couple of tools that are available for you to move from a chaotic, emotional, and mental state of mind to a more calm and peaceful place of true poder. From Tensa to Tranquila is the private podcast that I recorded. It's $27. And when you listen to it, I walk you through the Tensa framework, which helps you understand the big connection that impacts your Sistema Nervioso and also really determines whether you're listening to your higher guides, your higher self, your spirit, if you will, your intuitive self, or not. So I want you to, in the show notes, go and check out From Tensa to Tranquila. It's, like I said, a private podcast, and I walk you through that. I also want to invite you, and I'm doing that now, I want to invite you to send me your email address if you're interested in a 10 women group program that starts sometime in the beginning of the year. I'm going to tell you a little bit about that program, and then I'm going to tell you right now why I can't commit to a date yet. My youngest daughter is going to have my second granddaughter probably sometime around January 1st. And I don't want to take on any responsibilities that will take me away from being mom and being grandma to her, to my new granddaughter, and to my existing granddaughter. So I don't know what my life is going to look like at the beginning of January. So I don't want to tell you, we start January 5th or January 6th, or we start the 15th. I don't know. We may not be able to start until February. And let me tell you why this is such a big deal. La mayoría de mujeres no tenemos nuestras prioridades en orden de esta manera. Others do not have the flexibility to prioritize personal life experiences the way that I have the opportunity to prioritize them. If I had a full-time job, I couldn't commit to being a caretaker to my daughter and my grandchildren the way that I'm committing right now. Because of the flexibility that I have in my personal life, because of the amount of work that my husband and I have done together to build this company and this business to where it is and where it's going, I'm allowed to say, I don't know when the hell it's going to start. What I do want to tell you is that I know exactly what that program is going to look like. And it is going to be by invitation only. So I'm only going to be reaching out to the women who have shown any interest in creating serious transformations from the inside out. We are going to work through son cuatro pilares principales, okay? And I call them los cuatro pilares. Es cabeza, cuerpo, corazón y espíritu. Cabeza, cuerpo, corazón y espíritu. So mind, body, emotions, spirit. These 4 areas of your life, we are going to work through them. This is going to be somewhere between a 4-month to a 6-month container where you, 9 other women, and I are going to gather twice a month to have very deep conversations about what is happening within. And all of us are going to walk away with very specific action items to help change whatever life experiences we are having, whatever health experiences we are having. We're going to talk a lot about hormones. We're going to talk a lot about stress. We're going to talk a lot about the things that move the needle forward. I have a friend who is a fantastic therapist who's moving from a therapeutic field to being a coach because she said, there's a difference. We can spend years in therapy talking about very big and important things like your past, like your upbringing, like the family that you were born into. We can spend so much time on something that we can't change anymore. But as a coach, I have the ability to move you forward, to like bring you back here and move you along. And I loved the way that she made that explanation because that is exactly what happens in transformational coaching. Yes, We talk a lot about lo que sucedió y que tu mamá y que tu papá y que tu hermano y que tu hermana y que tu tía y que tu ex y que tus hijos. We talk a lot about all that. And also, we talk about you and where you are right now and where you want to go. And how do we do that? By honoring by being mindful of the energetic bandwidth that you have today. So in this program that starts sometime in early 2026, we are going to really be moving the needle forward on those goals that you will set for yourself. I don't yet have a final investment number, so I'm not gonna tell you what that is. I'm also not going to price gouge you. I promise you that it is for women who are ready for deep transformative change, that are committed both mentally, physically, emotionally, well, not just both because there's 4 areas, and also financially committed to make this investment in themselves. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to charge you $10,000. That doesn't mean that I'm going to charge you $5,000. That is not how I work. I do in other areas, but not when it comes to este programa que quiero poner, porque es para mujeres latinas, es para mujeres hispanas, es para mujeres que crecimos navegando entre 2 mundos diferentes. And let me tell you why this is very important. You've heard me say this time and time again, that the white community, the English-speaking community, whether you're white or just English-speaking, you have mentors like Tony Robbins and Mel Robbins and Brendan Burchard, and we have Gabby Bernstein. I count myself as part of that group because I speak English. Who does the Mujer Latina have? And then even though I do speak both languages, cuando se trata de la cultura, there is such a difference between what another woman who may not be Latina and I grew up experiencing. Most women of color will have similar experiences, but that's not the case. And I have seen it time and time again with a woman who is white. So this program really is for Latinas. It mostly is going to be in English, pero a veces se me va a salir el español. Y si no me entiendes, pues al menos vas a poder comprender mi energía, okay? And you'll remember maybe your madre, your abuela speaking to you in that tone, saying those words to you. So I don't even have to fully translate for you to understand what I'm trying to tell you. Esta mujer lo va a entender. So vamos a hablar mucho del sistema nervioso, del cual no hablamos en nuestra cultura. ¿Qué es el sistema nervioso? Cállate y haz el trabajo que te estoy pidiendo que hagas, right? We did not grow up with our parents being mindful of our emotional experiences. What did we grow up hearing? Te callas o te callo. Te calmas o te calmo. We did not grow up with a mom who said, oh, ¿qué pasa? Háblame de tus emociones. ¿Qué sucede? And it's interesting, the term gentle parenting, because I think that there are different sides to gentle parenting. And I'm only bringing up gentle parenting because, again, brand new grandma, about to have another granddaughter. So Anastasia is just turned 3 years old. So we're doing things completely different. I'm gentle more so than I was with my own kids. Even when my kids were younger, I didn't stop to ask what was happening emotionally with them. I did not have the emotional capacity myself to hold that. I was in survival mode. I recognize now that my mother was in survival mode, that mi abuelita y mi abuelito, they were mis abuelitas, because my grandfathers were something else. But my grandmothers, they grew up and were in survival mode. So they didn't ask us, how you're doing. This looks like it's really weighing heavy on your mind and on your heart. Dime qué está pasando. ¿En qué te puedo ayudar? No nos dijeron eso. ¿Qué quieres? No estés chingando. Ok, cállate y haz lo que te estoy diciendo. ¿Y tú de qué lloras? No tienes por qué llorar. You have no reason to be upset. That's what we grew up hearing. So we did not understand what this whole Sistema Nervioso thing was about. I talked to clients today who don't understand how easily their nervous system is activated. And so they're in marriages and they're miserable in their marriage. They're miserable for very many reasons. And part of the reason why they can't seem to get it together emotionally is because their nervous system is shot. It can't. It is constantly in fight, flight, freeze, or fawn mode. So sometimes when there is verbal abuse in the relationship, the woman will go into freeze mode or into fawn mode because she's so tired of this pattern. But she grew up hearing, well, you made your bed. Now you got to lay in it. Esta es tu cruz, mija. Es tu matrimonio. Hasta que la muerte los separe. Lo que Dios unió, this is what she grew up hearing. So now, because of the years of repetitive patterns, which some of us would call verbal abuse, emotional abuse, in many cases there is physical abuse. What does the woman do when her nervous system just can't fight anymore and doesn't have the energy or the faith or the belief in herself that she will be okay without her husband? Because we also grew up hearing, es tu marido, mija. I grew up hearing, pues el hombre sabe más que tú eres mujer, right? And I'm not joking. This is what I heard from the men in my life, my father being one of those people. So their nervous system doesn't allow them to flee. They won't be safe if they leave their marriage. So they can't fight back. They can't leave. They're frozen in place. And freezing, well, that does the family no good. And especially if she still has kids or a job, she's got to go and function. So what does she do? Yes, sí, pues sí, lo que tú quieras, sí, pues sí, fun, right? So we did not grow up understanding this. And I'm so excited for these 10 mujeres who are going to be a part of this group experience to understand how the nervous system works. So in the Tensa Tu Tranquila private podcast, if that calls to you and you want to buy it, again, it's $27. If something there stirs you and you decide, I want to know more about what healing looks like for me and what's possible on the other side of healing. I don't know what healing is going to mean to you because it's probably different from what it looks like for me and what it looks like for the other women. Everybody has their own unique journey, which is why I'm not going to sell you a canned program that is a one size fits all kind of deal because everybody is so different. So in this container, this is why it's only open for 10 women. We really will have some similar experiences that we can learn from. And we will also have our very unique experiences that will require unique sort of medicine, if you will. Speaking of that, I do need to see your labs. I need to see where your glucose is, where your A1C is, where your sex hormones are, how your lipids are. I need to see your everything. I need to see everything because again, cabeza, cuerpo, corazón y espíritu. So yes, we can talk about the nervous system, but I also want to see what the years of wear and tear on the nervous system has done to your physical body. So how is your physical body reacting today a todo lo que te ha sucedido? So that is going to be very important. There will be supplements that you will be asked to take. Things like maybe a daily multivitamin to fill in those nutritional gaps. Maybe a B complex, maybe some D vitamins, again, depending on where you are with your particular labs. We're also going to do some work with essential oils because I love essential oils and they are a very important part to our emotional wellness. So cabeza, cuerpo, corazón, our emotional wellness. They're also going to support our physical body as well. They're going to be a part of our spiritual journey as well. They are great to create direct communication with those parts of our brain, like our limbic system that stores memory and emotions and is responsible for a lot of our reactions to things today. So vamos a trabajar con aceites esenciales. There's going to be some gentle cleansing of the physical body through some detoxing, specific foods that you're going to want to stay away from for maybe a 2-week to 3-week period of time, depending on where you are with your metabolism. Vamos a hacer mucho trabajo juntas, and I'm so excited about this. If this is something that you want to do and you're not yet part of my newsletter, then just send me your email address saying, I'm interested, and I will add you to the wait list that I haven't even created this form yet because my head has just been kind of putting everything together. And one of the things that I've learned to do in my almost 50 years of age and 10 years as a wellness coach is giving myself space to think and not feeling the need to jump at every single thought that I have, really letting it simmer. My human design as a manifestor generator, the way that my brain works is I have to sit and wait for the information to feel right in my body. So that's why there's no waiting list form yet, but maybe I'll get to that this week or sometime around the Christmas break. But in the meantime, you can send me your email address saying, yes, I'm interested, I want in. Again, I don't yet know what the investment's going to be, but you will be one of the first to know. It's by invitation only. You have a right to say no if it's not something that is a good thing for you to do right now. ¿Qué más te quiero decir? ¿Qué más te quiero decir? Creo que es todo. Oh, and from Tensa to Tranquila, episode 7 is a 7-minute meditation titled Mi calma es mi poder, where I bring you back to a state of calma. You're going to love it. If that's not something that you want to do right now, the $27 investment, then let me at least give you this. Nervous system hygiene is important. Do not just wait until your nervous system is in chaos or crisis for you to try to regulate, because it's going to be very hard for you to remember to do that. When you are in crisis mode, when you are in chaos mode, your nervous system is doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing, which is keeping you alive during the chaos. The problem is that it's one crisis after another, and it never comes to an end. So how to practice nervous system hygiene is on a regular basis. Every single morning when you open your eyes, I'm grateful for this body. I'm grateful for this day. Gracias por otra oportunidad de ser magnífica, de ser chingona. Gracias por mi habilidad, la habilidad que tengo de regresar a la calma. La calma es mi poder. And you take a breath. And then you set an alarm, and then an hour or 2 hours later, when your alarm goes off, and it could say something like spirit check-in or, blissful moment, you come back and you do a quick scan of your senses, and you're like, yes. I inhale belief. I exhale doubt. I inhale possibilities. I exhale worry. I inhale goodness. I exhale what no longer serves me. And maybe that's the breathing exercise with the affirmations that you practice again and again and again and again throughout the day. The importance of this is so that your body can remember what peace feels like, so that when you are in a less than chaotic state or less than peaceful state, when you're in a chaotic state, it's easier for your nervous system to, with the breath, take you back to that place that is familiar and also accessible. Pero de nuevo te repito, tienes que practicarlo durante el día, no solamente esperar hasta que estés en crisis para recordar, porque no te vas a acordar de hacerlo en ese momento. Así no funciona el sistema nervioso. Durante los momentos de crisis, el sistema nervioso está tratando de mantenerte viva. It doesn't give a shit about your meditation practice. So, nervous system hygiene, from tensa to tranquila, private podcast. Send me your email so that we can start having the one-on-one conversations via email about this thing that is unfolding and when I'm going to release it, who it's for. Again, invitation only para latinas, para mujeres latinas, mujeres hispanas. Let's do this. Let's do this. Te quiero mucho. Recuerda que eres chingona, aunque no lo sientas todos los días. I love you, and I will see you in the next episode.